Discover the latest updates in the realms of cryptocurrency, politics, technology, and beyond. Stay informed with News Sir Scrawler's edition from April 23, 2025, which provides a comprehensive daily news digest.
China has introduced a strategy to advance its domestic payment system amid ongoing tensions with the United States over trade. Elon Musk has mentioned that Tesla's Optimus humanoid robots are encountering challenges due to China's restrictions on exporting rare earth materials. China's CATL has announced that it has surpassed BYD's record for electric vehicle batteries by achieving a longer range with just a 5-minute charge.
Business of Fashion has announced that Chanel has appointed Kendrick Lamar as its new brand ambassador. In a related story, Anna Jean-Ylan has made history by becoming the first Chinese contestant to win MasterChef Italia, showcasing a remarkable fusion of cultural elements. The BBC has revealed plans for a new documentary titled P. Diddy, The Rise and Fall, which will be available on BBC Three and iPlayer.
Putin suggests engaging in direct peace negotiations with Ukraine, expresses willingness for additional ceasefires, and proposes stopping the invasion at the current front line. Zelensky dismisses the idea of acknowledging Crimea as Russian territory, cautioning against falling into Putin's strategy. The Crimean Tatar Mejlis, led by its chairman, also opposes any international recognition of Crimea as Russian, and the EU's chief diplomat advises the US against such recognition. Vance delivers an ultimatum to Ukraine following Rubio's absence from an important meeting in London. Bloomberg has issued a travel advisory to its employees. In response to a US anti-migrant advertisement, Mexico has prohibited foreign propaganda and has requested TV stations to remove the ad, which it deems discriminatory. NPR has reported that the White House is considering replacing Pete Hegseth with a new defense secretary. However, the White House has dismissed this NPR report as fake news.
During the trial, the co-founder of Instagram claimed that Meta withheld necessary resources from his company. The chief of OpenAI mentioned that his company would be interested in acquiring Google's Chrome browser, while the Justice Department has requested a judge to consider breaking Google's search monopoly by mandating the sale of Chrome. Furthermore, Boeing has announced plans to sell portions of its aviation software division to Thoma Bravo for a total of $10.5 billion.
SK Telecom has announced a hacking incident that resulted in the partial leakage of user USM data. Google Chrome has decided to keep using third-party cookies. The Washington Post has revealed that sensitive documents, such as White House floor plans, were mistakenly shared with thousands of people in the United States.
LG Electronics has decided to leave the electric vehicle charger market due to a decrease in global demand. Xiaomi has postponed the launch of its inaugural SUV following a tragic road accident. Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers are gaining attention as Tesla chooses not to participate in the Shanghai Auto Show for the third consecutive year.
Malaysia is looking to expand its trade relations with Africa as the threat of tariffs imposed by President Trump becomes more imminent. The White House is nearing agreements on tariffs with Japan and India, although these agreements are anticipated to lack detailed specifics. There has been a significant decrease in the volume of Chinese freight ship traffic arriving at the busiest U.S. ports, which include Los Angeles and Long Beach.
Western Digital has introduced a new recycling method for hard drives that recovers rare earth elements and eliminates the need for Chinese involvement. In the US, Walmart is transitioning from using zip codes to implementing honeycomb-style maps to enhance delivery efficiency. South Korea plans to construct the largest offshore wind power cluster by the year 2033, according to the ministry. A recent study reveals that over 100 publicly traded software companies are experiencing significant pressure due to the rise of artificial intelligence. In the United States, an executive order has been drafted to establish a strategy for incorporating AI into the education system for K-12 students. A Columbia University student was expelled for developing an AI tool intended for cheating, but has since raised millions of dollars to transform this creation into a startup. According to Number 10, Starmer does not hold the belief that trans women are women, and the Equalities Minister has stated that trans women should utilize male restrooms. Wild chimpanzees have been observed sharing fruits that have undergone fermentation. California is on the verge of exhausting its supply of license plate numbers. Boeing has announced plans to sell portions of its aviation software division to Thoma Bravo for a sum of $10.5 billion.
In the first quarter, China saw the addition of almost 2 million private companies, while there are increasing demands for support. China has extended an invitation to European nations to join forces in opposing the tariffs imposed by Trump. Malaysia's initiative to introduce Thai, Khmer, and Vietnamese as optional languages in schools has faced criticism from parents. Just 2 days ago, Minister Fadlina announced that Malaysia plans to incorporate these languages into the school curriculum to strengthen ties with ASEAN countries. In a significant development, 3 prosecutors involved in the corruption case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams have stepped down. The Trump administration has granted an extension to NYC for ending congestion pricing, with federal officials warning that highway funding could be withheld if the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, MTA, does not discontinue this initiative. In other news, the chief of 60 Minutes has resigned during an emotional meeting, expressing that the company has moved on from him. Semaphore highlights that Paramount's owner, Sherry Redstone, has been closely monitoring 60 Minutes segments related to Trump. Elon Musk has announced plans to reduce his time at Doge to just 1 or 2 days a week, as Tesla's profits continue to decline.
The International Monetary Fund has significantly reduced its projections for the economic growth of China, the United States, and the global economy due to escalating trade tensions. In contrast, Counterpoint has reported a 6.7% year-over-year increase in global personal computer shipments during the first quarter of 2025, despite the expectation of new tariffs from the United States. Intel is set to reveal its strategy this week, which includes plans to reduce its workforce by more than 20%.
Apple has removed the phrase "available now" from its Apple Intelligence webpage. According to a Reuters report, Huawei is preparing to launch a new AI chip for widespread distribution, as China looks for alternatives to NVIDIA, according to sources. SK Hynix, a supplier to NVIDIA, has surpassed Samsung to become the global leader in DRAM chips, driven by the surge in AI technology.
According to Bloomberg, Google has been paying Samsung significant amounts to facilitate installations of the Gemini AI application. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has stated that films created using artificial intelligence are eligible to win Oscars. Furthermore, the Washington Post has collaborated with OpenAI to improve access to news through the use of ChatGPT.
China and Egypt have initiated unprecedented joint air exercises, potentially altering the strategic landscape of the Middle East. Notably, China's KJ-500 radar aircraft has been deployed overseas for the first time in collaboration with Egypt. A U.S. spy drone with a 7,000-mile range has been equipped with a lethal laser weapon capable of destroying missiles in the air. Furthermore, a leaked memo from the U.S. advises its allies to avoid using Chinese satellite services.
Vance and Modi convened in New Delhi to deliberate on a trade agreement aimed at circumventing U.S. tariffs. The Financial Times highlights that India is facing tariff-related pressure to grant Amazon and Walmart's Flipkart comprehensive market access. Prime Minister Modi advocated for increased defense collaboration with Saudi Arabia, while Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman mentioned a potential $100 billion investment and expressed shared concerns about terrorism. This meeting is part of Modi's discussions with the Saudi Crown Prince regarding trade in oil. Furthermore, a source indicates that India plans to impose a temporary 12% tariff on steel to mitigate the influx of inexpensive imports from China. ARK Invest funds have become the first exchange-traded funds in the United States to incorporate exposure to Solana by utilizing 3iQ's staking ETF. Mantra has announced plans to destroy $160 million worth of OM tokens, with half of this amount coming from the founder of the decentralized autonomous organization, following a significant 90% decline in the token's price. The XRP Ledger Foundation has revealed a serious vulnerability in the latest version of the XRPL JavaScript library.
In the United States, the Education Department has announced that student loans that are in default will be sent to debt collection agencies. A school in Silicon Valley, which was funded by Mark Zuckerberg and intended for low-income families, is set to close its doors. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass has proposed a budget that includes the layoff of more than 1,600 city employees.
SEC Chair Atkins emphasizes the importance of establishing a strong foundation for digital assets. Crypto casinos have generated over $80 billion as gamblers find ways to circumvent restrictions. Circle is developing a stablecoin-driven cross-border payment network, with crypto companies seeking bank charters, as Circle introduces a stablecoin orchestration layer. The Washington Post indicates that Trump's close associates are considering advocating for increased taxes on individuals with a net worth of $1 million or more. In the United States, former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers warns that Trump's criticism of the Internal Revenue Service could potentially lead to a revenue loss of $1 trillion. The Wall Street Journal notes that Trump is preparing to hold Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell accountable for any economic downturn, although Trump has recently stated that he has no intention of firing Powell.
Cristiano Ronaldo's team, Al Nassr, is aiming to achieve success in the Asian Champions League as Saudi Arabia serves as the host for the finals. Andre Agassi is set to participate in the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. Warner Bros. Discovery has initiated a crackdown on password sharing for its Max streaming service.
The United States Treasury has imposed sanctions on a prominent Iranian figure involved in the liquefied petroleum gas industry. In the United Kingdom, the largest Jewish organization has expressed disapproval of Israel's military actions in Gaza. Israel has ceased referencing humanitarian zones as the conflict in Gaza continues to intensify.
Trump organizes a corporate-sponsored Easter egg roll, stating, "We're bringing religion back," while in the U.S., the Veterans Affairs Agency instructs employees to report colleagues for anti-Christian bias. Mississippi's governor announces April 2025 as Confederate Heritage Month. Trump supports a $5,000 baby bonus for new mothers to combat the declining birth rate, remarking, "Sounds like a good idea." Mother Jones comments on the possibility of Trump introducing a motherhood medal, an idea that gained popularity in Nazi Germany.
In the United States, Senator Marco Rubio has proposed a significant transformation of the State Department, which includes reducing its workforce and eliminating various bureaus. Concurrently, the State Department is planning to cut 15% of its domestic staff and close 132 offices. More than 150 college presidents have signed a letter criticizing the Trump administration for what they perceive as excessive actions. In the U.S., Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is preparing to launch a disease registry aimed at collecting medical records from numerous Americans to study autism.
RFK Jr. has introduced a proposal to gradually eliminate 8 artificial food dyes from the United States market. A recent report indicates that the cancer death rate in the U.S. has been consistently decreasing. Pew Research has revealed that 48% of teenagers in the U.S. believe social media negatively impacts individuals their age, marking an increase from 32% in 2022.
Authorities in Ivory Coast have successfully saved 33 individuals from West Africa who were victims of a human trafficking scheme. A United Nations representative has issued a warning that Haiti is approaching a critical juncture due to escalating gang violence. The United Nations has reported that the issue of scam call centers originating from Asia is spreading worldwide, intensifying political tensions.
The United States is implementing a tariff as high as 3,521% on solar panels imported from Southeast Asia, while Chinese solar panel manufacturers are reportedly considering their next steps in response to these tariffs imposed by Washington. Roche has announced plans to invest $50 billion in the United States to circumvent tariffs imposed by the Trump administration, with the intention of creating 12,000 new jobs. The U.S. Treasury Secretary has stated that the ongoing tariff conflict with China is not sustainable and anticipates a reduction in tensions, as echoed by Bessent, who foresees a de-escalation in the U.S.-China tariff dispute in the very near future. President Trump has indicated that the tariff on China will come down substantially from its current rate of 145%. China has returned a new Boeing jet, which became more costly due to the tariffs.
Top songs on YouTube music charts, Global Edition from April 11th to April 17th, 2025. 1. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars 2. APT by Rose and Bruno Mars 3. El Mayor de los Ranas by Victor Valverde and Gior Torres 4. Paso Bame Solto, Slowed by ATLXS.
Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global for the period from Friday, April 11th to Thursday, April 17th, 2025, the following tracks. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish, Ordinary by Alex Warren, and APT by Rose and Bruno Mars.
Top-selling digital games on Nintendo US as of April 21, 2025. Minecraft, Hades, NBA 2K25, Overcooked. 2.
Steam's most popular games. Featuring the leading games in sales and player engagement worldwide on Steam. Based on the revenue rankings of the top 100 products, from Tuesday, April 1, 2025, to Tuesday, April 8, 2025. Counter-Strike 2. Schedule 1. Marvel Rivals. PUBG, Battlegrounds. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA issues recommendations regarding credential vulnerabilities linked to a possible compromise of older Oracle cloud systems.
One more drop in the ocean of AI. Microsoft's BitNet B1.58 represents a significant addition to the realm of artificial intelligence. It is the inaugural open-source native 1-bit large language model (LLM) that operates at a scale of 2 billion parameters. This model, crafted by Microsoft Research, was trained using a vast dataset of 4 trillion tokens. It showcases that native 1-bit LLMs can match the performance of top-tier open-weight, full-precision models of comparable size. It provides notable benefits in terms of computational efficiency, including improvements in memory usage, energy consumption, and latency.